Welcome everybody to Milwaukee Urban Stables. I appreciate you all being present this afternoon. Those that are not are joining us via Teams. And hopefully I'm speaking loud enough, but I'll also speak into the mic. Mike will speak into the mic.
Commissioner Fitz.
Hear me, Commissioner Fitz? Very good.
What those guys? Is it really working?
We're gonna find out in a moment. Justin's taking care of it.
Attempting to.
Okay. I've called the meeting to order. Roll call is going around the room. Please sign your name, payment, non-payment. Those that are joining us remotely, I acknowledge Commissioner Hanson and Commissioner Kramer and Commissioner Trottier.
Yes.
Very good. And there's a name that's on the screen, Zachary Cron. Okay. That's Commissioner Trottier.
Our commission staff.
Commission staff.
Okay.
Okay, very good. And if you could acknowledge a yay or a nay for payment,
No.
Commissioner Kramer, yay or nay?
Everybody just.
Oh.
Yes. Commissioner Hanson? Yes. And Commissioner Trottier? Commissioner Trottier? Yay or nay for payment for a commission meeting?
Yes.
Thank you. Very good. Next on our agenda this afternoon is a welcome. We have Mary with Milwaukee Urban Stables and her team. Sorry, apologize. We don't have any horses that we can bring in here to welcome you as well, but.
A little donkey in here named.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mary. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. My name is Mary McIntosh. I am the executive director at Milwaukee Urban Stables. And I want to welcome all of you. It's really an honor that you're here. We were all very excited when we found out that you're going to have your meeting here. So I'm going to introduce my staff. Before I do that, though, I would just like to give you a quick overview of who the Milwaukee Urban Stables are. So we started, our stable opened in 2020. The history goes back about 12 years ago when the Mounted Patrol, Milwaukee Police Department's Mounted Patrol, was looking for a home for their horses. Officer John Peterson, who has been with the Milwaukee Police Department for 26 years. 26 years. Started talking to the Business Improvement District in Milwaukee, went to Rotary, and everybody was like, yeah, this is kind of a cool idea, but the idea was planted, the seed was planted. If we're gonna think about this, let's do something with therapy horses. So fast forward this, we bought the property from the city of Milwaukee for $1, got a $200,000 grant to clean up the property. We, the nonprofit, so Milwaukee Urban Stables owns the property, and we partner with the Milwaukee Police Department. So they pay us a lease, they pay us through a lease every month for the police and their horses to be here. And we have a wonderful partnership. This is the only, I'm going to say, the only partnership of its kind in the country, and it's really very special. And the reason being that, so we offer equine assisted therapy to at-risk youth. We offer that therapy to veterans, and then we also offer that to first responders. We also offer a host of programs for schools in the community, senior citizen homes, assisted living centers, really just about anyone in the community. But what's really cool about our partnership with the police, for example, if we're bringing big brothers, big sisters in, we may have our police partners come in and they'll spend time with the kids and they'll talk about, well, John, how did you end up getting your partner? How did you develop your partnership with your horse? And how that takes time, and it's learning trust. And basically it's an opportunity for people in the community to see the police in a whole different light and for the police to see people in the community in a whole different light. So we've been very, very fortunate with our partnership. I think that we're doing better than anyone ever thought that we would be when you go back in time. So when we were planning this, so I want to introduce John Peterson, who's a Mountain Patrol officer.
Yes.
You started.
It started in 2012. I knew that we were in trouble, and I knew that by the time I got it going, that I'd probably be on the verge of retiring. That changed. I don't think I'm ever going to retire, but I wanted my fellow officers to be able to have an opportunity to have a career like I did. And one of the things that I saw with what I did with all the different programs I did, and I had a lot of contact with people that went through horse therapy and just the events that we were at, the people come up saying, I feel so safe when you're here. So I wanted to continue with what we did for the community, but I also didn't want this place to sit vacant. I wanted this to be like a hub of activity, like seeing this meeting here. This just makes me so excited to have all you here. I wanted to be able to bring veterans here because I am a Marine Corps veteran. And I wanted to see kids be able to have programs so that when I'm out there riding my horse, this isn't just sitting here vacant.
Thank you, John. This is Lisa Olson, who started yesterday. We're really excited. We have a new contract with Milwaukee County's Behavioral Health and the CCS network. So Lisa is going to be one of the providers, and we've got a waiting list already. So we're very excited.
I'm super happy to be here. Second day and ready to go.
Left a 25-year job at Waukesha Memorial Hospital.
Yes.
So we're glad to have her here.
Big transition.
Yeah, and then we have Tiffany, who is our volunteer coordinator. How many volunteers do we have?
We have about 150 on the list right now, and we have a waiting list for others who would like to get in and volunteer. I actually started as a volunteer in 2022 and just recently became the volunteer coordinator. So I was spending time here for a long time, so it's nice to be here now and be on the staff.
And last but not least is Hannah Offerman, who's our development director.
Hello, everyone.
And also magnificent tour guide who you will get to get a chance to meet all of our horses. You'll see some of the police horses and you'll see our therapy horses. We have 3 mini donkeys, 2 mini horses, and 3 standard size horses. And the police have how many horses?
We have 7 right now.
Yeah, they're big, they're much bigger than ours, so maybe we'll bring up, I spectrum of.
We use the Bertrons, which they range from 1,500 to 2,000 pounds. So they're draft horses. Big, sturdy, intimidating draft horses.
Well, if anyone has any questions, I know you have to get your meeting going, so I want to be respectful of your time.
And commissioners get a therapy.
I talk about that.
It's a great idea.
Well, thank you, Mary. Thank you for the.
Enjoy
We will conclude our commission meeting between an hour and an hour and a half from now.
Our office is right there, just come and get us and we'll go.
Very good. So you provide a quick 10-minute tour. Very good. Thank you.
Okay, well,
Thank you.
Instead of holding that mic, can you hear me well, Commissioner Pitts? Very good. Thank you. Okay, well, that was a wonderful welcome. We have some business to take care of today. Item 3 on our agenda is the official seating of Milwaukee County appointment of Commissioner Isaac Rowlett. Commissioner Rowlett had joined our executive committee meeting, and I had an opportunity to chat with him prior. I will turn it over to Commissioner, soon to be Commissioner Rowlett, to introduce himself. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Name's Isaac Rowlett. My day job is the strategic planner for Milwaukee County, a position I've been in for about 7 years now. But also have been involved both through work and extracurricularly in a lot of land use policy. Strong interest of mine, so participated in a number of sewer PAC led initiatives at Milwaukee in recent years. And part of that lived in Washington, DC. I'm from Milwaukee County, but I was in Washington, DC for about 6 years prior to this position, working with federal agencies, several of which actually no longer exist. But yeah, so really excited to be here, really excited about the opportunities across our region. It's a lens that I try to bring with everything that we do at Milwaukee County, because a lot of things from businesses to workers to pathogens and beyond don't necessarily care about the borders that we've assigned to our various counties. So thank you once again, excited to be working with all of you.
Thank you. With that, I'd like to entertain a motion.
We're gonna make a motion to seat Mr. Rowland.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any comments? Hearing none, then all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimously confirmed. Welcome. Next item on our agenda is official seating of Walworth County and Governor's appointment, Commissioner Adam, and I'll let him pronounce his last name because it does not sound like what it looks like.
Hi, everyone. My name is Adam Jaramillo. I'm currently serving as the village president in Williams Bay, in Walworth County, population of about 3,000. Prior to that, I served as trustee on the board for 3 years. I grew up in Walworth and Williams Bay, moved away to go attend MIT, studied nuclear engineering there, bounced around the country with my wife, but came back in 2020 to raise my kids in my hometown. So got into politics then, studied engineering, but I think in my heart, I'm a mathematician. I like logically approaching problems and solving problems. So I'm excited to work with all of y'all, and thank you for having me out.
And I'll turn it over to Commissioner Holt, who was going to formally introduce you.
Yeah, they put me on the spot here.
No,
Go
that's
ahead,
fine.
Commissioner Holt.
I'll just jump in. I've known Adam since before I ran for office as well, and I think he's gonna be a wonderful addition to Sewer PAC Sports and bring some great perspective in Walworth County, and then I think the commission is gonna be lucky to have him.
And with that, would you move?
I'll make a
to-
motion to seat Adam.
Second.
Thank you. Further comment? Hearing and seeing none, then all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimously. Welcome. Next would have been an official seating of governor's appointment from Milwaukee County. The governor's office did not receive the oath of office from that future commissioner yet. So what I would like to do is table that until the next full commission meeting. Well, there will be an appointment, but the next full commission would be when we would seat that commissioner. So is there a motion to table that official seating? Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, then all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Officially tabled until the next commission meeting, which is in March of 2026. Next up is consideration of meeting minutes from the September 10th, 2025 quarterly commission meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Any comments, corrections?
I believe there's a small correction that needs to be made on page 4. Under consideration of amendment to the water quality management system for the Gulf of Germantown. It says Mr. Colley asked for a revision to the city of Port sanitary sewer. You see that one?
Thank you. So a motion with that correction.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes with the amendment.
Second.
Thank you. Any further comments or corrections? Hearing none, then all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimously approved. Thank you. Next up, item 7. Those in elected office do know what a consent agenda is. We have the consideration of standing committee reports, planning and research committee and executive committee, which you have in front of you. The purpose of having the consent agenda is to more efficiently move through the meeting. As you can see, the planning and research does not have a whole lot, but the executive does. In the past, we used to go through and read the entire report to the commission. With that, we don't need to do that with the consent agenda. But if there is a concern and you want it read, we would pull that from the consent agenda. Anybody want an item removed from the consent agenda?
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimously approved. We move swiftly through them. That's good. Next up is consideration of amendment to the TIP Transportation Improvement Program, resolution number 2025-18. And we'll need a motion after that presentation. Go ahead, Chris.
So what we have before you is a last minute addition to this agenda yesterday. Basically, we've got 3 projects that need to be added to our transportation improvement programs to put chargers in 3 different locations in the Milwaukee urbanized area and then also Port Washington. The reason for the expediency on this is that WISDOT's concerned that the funding, the National Electric Vehicle Initiative funding might not be available at the first of the year. There's some discussion in Congress about getting rid of that money. And with the timing of the commission meeting, we're also asking the commission or making a recommendation that the commission approve these TIP amendments prior to the advisory committee having reviewed them and adopting them, contingent on the advisory committee's approval. And we sent them out to the advisory committee today, and we're asking them to get back to us by the 10th of December. So once we get their approval, I would then transmit the WISDOT next week. So we'd hold on to it at that point. So we're asking for a motion to these projects.
Very good. Thank you, Chris.
Mr. Chair. Motion first, then questions or questions?
A motion first.
Okay. I would make a motion to approve resolution 2025-18.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Go ahead, Commissioner Johnson.
Chris, have there been charging stations that have been in previous TIPs?
Yes.
Thank you.
I can add that these are also the matching funds for the federal dollars are private. Public matching.
Commissioner Holt.
Considered in the resolution, is there the contingency built into it, or should have that been built into our motion?
We intentionally left it out of the resolution, so the resolution would be standard, but we'll hold on to the resolution until the advisory committee approves it.
You want that built into the motion to adopt?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor of that amendment to the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's unanimously approved. Now back to the original motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, then unanimously approved. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Next up is consideration of the Regional Natural Areas Plan update. We had draft changes 7 through 9 of the Regional Natural Areas Plan. And we will have who to present.
I will take that. Thank you. Thank you. So here we also did a revised resolution that I passed out today. It's on the, and I guess ivory, actually officially colored paper. The reason that we redid the resolution is we wanted to a little bit better reflect the history of the Regional Natural Areas Plan. So The plan was first adopted in 1997, and the first major amendment to that plan was done in 2010. And this would be the second major amendment to that plan that we're considering today. There was also one very minor amendment in 1998, right after the plan was originally adopted. That had to do with one site near the city of Cedarburg. So that's all reflected in the resolution that I passed out today. So that's a little bit of the history. I will keep my comments very brief today. We did have two lengthy discussions, great discussions about this plan in February and as well as last month at the Planning and Research Committee meeting. At that Planning and Research Committee meeting, it was recommended that the full commission adopt this plan today, and I'll go over in a little bit more detail some of the comments that were made at the February and November meeting. And I'd also like to note that Zach Cron, senior biologist with our staff, is also online with us today. He was one of the main authors and developers of this plan, and he can answer any questions that might come up. But again, I'll try to keep this brief. I would like to point out before I get into a few of the items I said I was going to cover that we did receive some outside funding for this plan. I think that Tom and Zach went over that maybe multiple times at the February and November Planning and Research Committee meetings, but I wanted to acknowledge that again, that we did get funding in part from the Wisconsin Coastal Management Program and National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. And it was actually 3 separate grants that we got over multiple years to complete this plan. So a little bit of the history about how we got here today. As I said, in February, we had a meeting where we covered the first 6 draft chapters, which were an introductory chapter, a little bit of background on the Natural Areas Plan was chapter 2, status of our plan implementation was chapter 3, because we have had the original plan adopted in 97 and a major amendment in 2010. Identification of new sites in chapter 4, changes in listed of important species, plant and animal in chapter 5, and chapter 6, changes to site boundaries. So just wanted to refresh everybody's memory with just a very basic definition of what a natural area is and what a critical species habitat site is, just to refresh memories, or if there were any commission members that couldn't make either of those committee meetings. So natural area is defined as those tracts of land or water, so little modified by human activity, or which have sufficiently recovered from the effects of that activity that they contain intact native plant and animal communities believed to be representative of the pre-European settlement landscape. And just another basic definition, critical species habitat, defined as those tracts of land or water which support federally or state listed special concern, threatened or endangered plant and animal species as defined by state or federal agencies. So just a couple of basic definitions. There are many, many more in the report. As you know, the report is extensive. And I would also like to add that this work really does help us on multiple levels, from regional planning activities to county planning activities and local government planning activities. We've spoken at this at length at our committee meetings, but I do want to remind everybody that we do use this work in our sewer extension reviews to help us determine where maybe urban development should not occur based on the extension of sewers. Also, this information is represented in our vision plan. We're, of course, at Vision 2050 now, and we're updating that to Vision 2060, undertaking that work. And this natural areas updated information will be represented in that updated regional land use and transportation plan, and maybe equal or even more value to our county and local government planning activities. This information, particularly recommendations for how these areas should be preserved, acquisition by a government agency and nonprofit, preservation through another method, zoning, whatever it may be, is often used, particularly when we develop the plan, but also when communities use another method to develop a plan, will be included in things like comprehensive plans, which are required by state statutes. This information is not required by state statutes, but those plans often incorporate this information. And of particular importance in park and open space plans, this information certainly helps to align those plans with potential federal and state grant opportunities to preserve open space areas within communities. So very important to that both regional and local work. So at our November meeting, we looked at 3 draft chapters. The first was the natural areas related to law and policy. Second was recommended changes to the plan. And the third, chapter 9, was the recommended plan itself. And we also talked quite a bit in both meetings about our online web tool, which we have named Appendix A, but it lives online. And that includes site profiles for each one of the natural areas and critical species habitat sites identified in our plan. And as well, there's extensive mapping. Again, it's really an interactive map online with these site profiles. And we did also discuss in November that record of public comment. We did hold two virtual meetings, virtual public meetings on this plan in draft form last December, and essentially we received a positive public comment on this plan. And again, at the November meeting, those three draft chapters were approved by the Planning and Research Committee and recommended for adoption as the whole plan, including the first 6 chapters by the full commission today. We did receive a few comments at our Planning Research Committee meetings, both in February and November. February, the main comment was to include a statement in a plan about whether natural areas and critical species habitat preservation has overall improved or declined since the 2010 update. So staff will incorporate that in the finalized plan. And there was also a question asked whether the commission could partner with private entities to implement the plan. Last month, a couple suggestions came up. One was to include a table that lists examples of federal and maybe other grants that county and local governments can benefit from related to these topics, as well as to conduct outreach to potential implementation funders and include links to associated web pages in the site profiles that are in our online tool, if that's a possibility. It won't be in all cases. And then there was a lengthy discussion, a great discussion about just really our overall communication plan, not only for this regional plan, but other work that the commission does. So we will incorporate as we can or appropriate these comments into the final version of the plan as we publish it. I did want to highlight the main objectives of why this amendment was undertaken. One, we wanted to see what have changes been to the natural areas and critical species habitat sites, which involved a lot of site work by Zach Cron, our senior biologist, from the original 1997 plan and that major 2010 amendment. We also wanted to develop a geodatabase, a digital geodatabase of all this information to be a central repository for site information so we can more easily collect it and organize it. Develop anew that, again, those site profile summaries was a goal of this effort. We also want to look at revised and update aquatic resource assessment schemes for lake and stream classification. So we also have those resources included in this major amendment to the plan, where I do not believe they are actually addressed in the 2010 amendment. And finally, development of that interactive web tool was a major effort that we wanted to undertake as part of really improving this regional plan product. So an extremely high level overview of the recommended plan. I'll just refresh everybody's memory of how many natural area sites and critical species habitat sites are included in the regional plan. That's 477 natural areas, 338 critical species habitat sites throughout the region, as well identified 87 geological sites, 15 archaeological sites, and 11 grassland and forest interior reestablishment sites. So I think that I will wrap up my comments there. As I said, I want to keep them brief. We've talked in great detail at the committee level. However, if you do have questions, we'd be happy to answer those. And Zach would be here to help us do that.
My question is, what interaction, okay, you've done the plan. Now, do you have the state DNR and the State Department of Transportation? Do they know this plan exists? Are you taking it to them? What is your interaction and communication with them?
Yeah, so for all of our legislative bodies that are active within the region, so definitely our county, city, village, and town governmental units, we will provide this plan to them along with a draft resolution. If they would like to endorse our plan, they certainly can. It's not, they don't have to, but they can choose to do that. And then we work closely with both the DNR and DOT on a variety of natural resource information as we do things like look at where sewer service areas are and other transportation related activities. So we will certainly be.
You take this plan and go over and say, here it is. I mean, whether figuratively or, whatever, you take it to them or do you, is it just on an occasion of some specific task? What, you have all this information, so how does it plop down in the DNR?
You have a comment?
Yeah. Ben, can I make a comment?
Yeah, absolutely.
Joe, when I was still working, I worked at Wisconsin Department of Transportation for years, and there's a very close relationship between the department and with Sewer Pack. And I believe the same holds true with Wisconsin DNR. So the staff levels in the technical services area at WISDOT would be closely working.
If the DNR is looking at an issue in Nazaki County, they would have the benefit of your information. That's really
Absolutely.
what I'm
Yep.
getting at specifically.
Yes, and Zach, I don't know if you want to share any other ways that we may share this information with the DNR staff that you would work closely with?
Yeah, can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
So I work very closely with the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources, specifically the staff at the Bureau of Endangered Resources, or the former Natural Heritage Inventory staff. So we work very closely sharing information regarding natural areas, because I do inventories, they do inventories. So there's a lot of information sharing going on. I also update a lot of those element occurrences, share that information with DNR. They also share it with us. And so we're working directly with them in order to incorporate that information into the plan at a higher level. And so we're also working together on several efforts throughout the region, specifically for habitat restoration, wildlife restoration efforts. For example, I was just at a meeting yesterday in Milwaukee County regarding natural area restoration, specifically for the Milwaukee region. There are DNR staff present, county staff present, municipal staff present. So it's a collaborative effort across the region for sure.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Zach. Further questions?
I understand how this works with respect to that level of communication. If there are smaller projects going on, does that bump into this or not? Or if they do that, how do they get involved?
So I think, Zach, I'll turn it over to you for your examples. One example that is an occurrence that happens from time to time is when we do our sewer extension reviews. As you know, we are looking at within a sewer service area is urban development that would result from the extension of a sewer going to impact an environmental corridor. Oftentimes the natural areas and critical species habitat sites will be in that environmental corridor, and that may influence the review. That is one example. I don't know, Zach, do you want to add any others that come to mind?
No, I mean, I think that pretty much covers it. I think a lot of the information that I collect is incorporated through our planning effort into the statewide databases. So essentially what I'm getting at is our regional level efforts here are incorporated into larger efforts to protect natural resources across the state. So I'm helping DNR at a local level determine, say, natural resource baseline condition for specifically natural areas in our region, which they can then take that information, compare and contrast it to other regions in the state. For example, our southern sedge meadows, how those compare in quality to southern sedge meadows in other areas of the state. We can then discuss disturbances to our southern sedge meadows, see how those compare to other areas, determine priorities for restoration, management, acquisition. And so that's just part of the way we collaborate in a broader sense. But yeah, I can't think of any more specific examples at the current time.
Okay, thank you, Zach. And when we are doing our advisory review work for the DNR, because we are advisory to the DNR and that sewer extension review work, we would consider both statewide significant level natural areas as well as local significant natural areas. So
good.
Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any further comment? Thank you for the presentation, Ben and Zach. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Amendment is unanimously approved. Thank you. Next up is a presentation from the Community Engagement Division. Welcome, Nikki.
Thank you. Taking a minute for him to pull it up.
I thought you were just smiling at it.
I can continue.
For security for me, 1 second.
Didn't type fast.
Bear with me a second.
Would it help to have the USB?
And I don't know how to use it. We.
Staff, so let's put it here.
Yeah, Rich was there getting his.
We're hearing. It's just. So.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So we got reports doing quite well. Other than now having closed
Yep. What did she do?
So she thinks.
Yes. How did you guys?
thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead, Nikki. Welcome.
Thank you again. And I'm so sorry that our technology is not working and we don't get to see my great pictures that I have for you guys.
And probably start.
And puppets are always there. So again, I'm Nikki Payne. I do our community engagement and this is our update just to kind of let you know what's been going on. Previously, we were the public involvement and outreach division. So in 2024, moving into 2025, we changed over to community engagement. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit why we rebranded, the role of our community engagement, do some highlights of 24 versus 25, because we've been doing extraordinary in 2025, and talk a little bit about the community engagement plan and our steps, what's going on at that point, and also about the Youth Commission. So hope you'll follow along. Our 4 pillars as far as public involvement and outreach were outreach, public involvement, education, and environmental justice. with community engagement, we wanted to make sure that it was a more grassroots. We were putting our hands on the ground, making sure that we were having reciprocal relationships and not just throwing stuff at folks to take. So we were hoping to empower and provide ownership with the different projects that we worked on together and showing the adaptability that was available. So we're excited to do community engagement. Our role was to plan and attend public meetings, engage members of specific populations that had traditionally not been represented, participate in local and regional conferences and expos, engage our students regionally about transportation, land use, and the environment, and have internal education out. So I'm going to turn this around just so you guys can see this a little bit. We do have 9 community partners. I know that you're aware of our 9 community partners. We continue to work with them, and they are amazing partners. So as we roll out anything, we always touch point them. I'm representing all of the diverse groups that are available within Southeast Wisconsin. And those groups are Common Ground, Independence First, SOC, Southside Organizing Center, the Ethnic Diverse and Business Coalition, Milwaukee Urban League, Urban Economic Development Association, which is UEDA, better known as, the Hmong American Friendship Association, and also the Urban League of Racine and Kenosha. As far as student outreach, you've heard a little bit about that. That's something that we've kind of taken a big step into. So we've been partnering with, turn this back around for you guys to see, STEM Forward, Racine Unified Schools, UW Extension, and the Academies of Racine. We've also reached out to some other schools, so each year we're growing a little bit more. We've had a great opportunity with STEM Forward, which is not only taking us in Milwaukee County, but also some of the other of our 7 counties. So each year we're getting a little bit bigger, a little bit better. So with our highlights, in 2024, we did 13 festivals, fairs, and expos. We had 10 student classroom engagements. We worked on major plans like Vision 2050, the TIP, and the natural areas. And we received the 2024 Academies of Racine Powerful Partner Recognition Award. So for 2025, up until October, we've already gone to 18 festivals, expos, and fairs. And I actually have another one next week, which is the Governor's Minority Expo that we go to annually. So there's still a few more that are going to be counted. So we're going to surpass what we did last year. Again, with student classroom outreach, we have 18 so far, and we are continuing even in the month of December. So we will surpass last year also. Our major plan that we worked on was the CUP, or the Community Engagement Plan, which you'll hear about in a minute. So really excited about 2025 and what's to come in 2026. So the next thing to bring up is our Community Engagement Plan. For those of you who have seen this before, which was our Public Participation Plan, is what we used to call it. It was last published in January of 2017. Of course, there's lots that has happened since 2017, so we needed to update that. And we have. We've made it a lot more friendly and easier for people to read. One of the comments that I received after we did the program, did the plan, it moved from like 7 pages to 21 pages. And then the person said, man, that's a lot. But as they read it and actually looked at the document, there's more pictures. It has a lot more graphics. So making it easier for people to understand, and that's what we wanted. To give you the timeline, we initiated our 40-day comment period on October the 7th. It ended on November the 21st, and we should have our record of comments completed and the final community engagement plan available for the public by December the 12th. So very excited about that. I could not do any of this without the team that I work with. So I want to give some accolades to our cross-functional team, which includes one person from each one of the divisions. So as I'm going out to the schools, as we have our different fairs and expos and things that we go to, if I can't do it because I am only one person, then I do have a team that works with me, and I truly appreciate all the work that they do. And that's it.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did not talk about the youth commission, sorry. So that is something that you guys have talked a little bit about, which was the youth commission. And so Stephanie asked me to kind of show you the vision as I've looked at different organizations that have done youth commissions and how we could structure them. My thought would be that we would have 2 youth from every county, very similar to what it's done here, but with, and 2 from every county plus 1 member at large. The county representatives would be chosen, 1 by the superintendent, and the second one would be by the county executive. So since they already understand, since most of the youth commissions fall under the county, then it's an easy thing for the county executive to do. The at-large member would be chosen by commission staff. So that way we would have a 15-member body. They have an opportunity to have an extra vote. Candidate selection would be completed by May of every year. So that way the students could actually serve from September through June, which is their usual school term. And it would go from middle school all the way to high school. So that's it.
Do the teachers really like jumping into that?
Well, this is still a vision, so I would hope so.
I would hope so too.
We have some great teachers, so I've really enjoyed experiencing the teachers as we've been out in the schools trying to get kids excited about STEM careers that we have.
Very good.
Sure. So that we aren't denied your presentation, would we be able to receive it via email after?
It'd be awesome. Yes.
I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, I just want to take the opportunity to thank you for your presentation and to say that it is a surprise to me that you do not have a clone because I see you at every single event in Racine. So you're a great representative of this commission.
And Trevor just graduated from middle school.
That's right. So I'm interested in your
Commission messenger.
Yeah. In general, if you were gonna say what would be your, if in 2 years, what would be success for you and how would you measure it as you look out? I mean, I heard you say the word vision, I don't quite, but whatever it is, like in 2 years, where would you like to be and how would that be measured if you came back here in 2 years?
If we came back in 2 years, I would definitely like to see that we have. Ooh.
Go for it.
You're giving me the sky's the limit. Ooh,
I could have a goal, you know what I mean? So-
Of course, of course. Within our division, there's only 1 additional person that would be on staff. So it would be a chance to actually expand so that we can be in the community a lot more than we are. Again, with 1 to 2 people, it's a little bit hard to be everywhere in the 7 counties. So expanding the staff so that we are able to have those relationships, those partnerships that really make the difference when we're presenting any of the projects that we're working on. So that would be 1 goal. Secondly, is getting further into the schools. I think our kids need that opportunity to see that there are careers outside of what they normally see, a doctor, lawyer, Indian chief. There is something else that's out there. And especially when you're looking at our sciences, you're looking at our engineering, all of the opportunities that are there. So I would love to be in the schools a lot more.
Commissioner Decker.
Well, here's a couple of questions, but the first one is, when you said you haven't updated since 2017, of course, that's concerning, and you're updating now. So I'm hoping, very much hoping that this is going to be digital, not just in a booklet, so that it can be, as you, to Commissioner Messinger's question, that as you update the information, get more people involved, that's digital. Secondly, since you're reaching out to youth, you're trying to, rather than have many more staff, what about using the tools that are available that reach the youth, especially through the schools? That'd be more efficient to be utilizing, especially get out to Fredonia, get out to Dousman, get down to Williams Bay, in a digital methodology rather than always just trying to drive out there, drive back, and utilize the tools that we have available, plus to keep them updated. And my other question for you is, are you engaging with, especially in the outlying counties, the 4-H clubs, because they're doing a lot of the same things already. They're big on STEM. They're big on utilizing resources in terms of how to utilize that, engage the youth in those growth areas. Again, utilizing community partners in a very efficient and strong manner. I think that could help to Supervisor Messinger's question or Top Commissioner Messinger's question. That could help really give you a much bigger use of the sky and use of the tools that could help you meet and exceed some of those goals. A true engagement, because we have to look at where the engagement is today. When we saw the presentation last year of the young people, the one thing that I took from that was they were very digitally savvy, and that was the place to meet them in a lot of ways and continue their engagement. And I think one of the benefits of this would be that they engage better with each other through that. So that North Ozaki is talking to Kanawak, talking to Williams Bay, talking to Kewaskum, to some of those areas and programs that we don't seem to get to that are also just as necessary, that those young people understand the opportunities in front of them.
So you seem to have a couple of questions. So I'm going to just jump back to the first part. Yes, even with our printed document from 2017, it is available digitally on our webpage. Yes, the new community engagement plan will also be available digitally. But when I'm out at an expo or other things like that,
yeah,
we do need to have the printed materials. I do keep and I will say, wonderful thing that we have received. We have an iPad that goes along with me. It's on a beautiful stand. When I do surveys or for one of our plans that are out there, people are able to engage that way. So yes, we do have a digital footprint that we're doing. And that's part of why we did the update to the public participation plan, because it did not reflect any of those digital things that we're doing.
Very organized.
Proud of you.
Just ask an understanding question. Let's take, I know where the Mequon Nature Preserve is. I get a brochure from them. It's right near where Northridge used to be. It's hundreds of acres. They have lots of staff and all kinds of people. Are you trying to interact with a group like that to take people to nature, or are you trying to interact with the staff so the kids can see careers in whatever the professionals are? I wasn't quite clear on where you were headed.
Both.
So would you potentially, again, I only know where, I've been to Mequon Nature Preserve once, okay, but I know that they're well-funded and have a lot of, going on. Would that be the kind of group that you would work with?
Sure. So great example with what you're using. If they had a special program, sometimes they have resource fairs, they have events. We could actually come out and table if they have like a specific event, and I'm trying to think of Testing the Waters. Libby was at.
Is it Urban Edge or Harbor Fest or just Harbor Fest?
Yeah. So this is very new. So we have events where we actually bring a table, we have our information that we share, or it could be that they have a specific seminar and we actually are part of the teaching part where we may take the floodplain model out and talk about the floodplains and how flooding happens and occurs. So it can be both, or it could just be a one-on-one with the staff where we're having an opportunity to engage with them. That's why I said both.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Commissioner Johnson.
Nikki, first, thank you so much. Appreciate the update. A suggestion would be, as you're interacting with kids, especially and stuff, the more we can share information and kind of leach it over to the parents and things, it helps the overall awareness of the commission and its activities. So easier said than done.
Actually, I'm sorry, go ahead and finish.
So feel free to comment.
The end of the presentation that we give to the students is always about how can you get involved? And so we talk about, even though you are a middle schooler or a high schooler, you can actually fill out a survey. You can do this. And I'm trying to think of the school off the top of my head. I'm sorry that I can't. But while we were there, that same night, they were having a parent meeting that was talking about what they were going to do with the land, the schoolyard, things like that. Perfect opportunity. And I challenged each one of the kids to make sure to bring their parents back that night. So ways to get the parents engaged with what they were learning.
Yep. And then my question would be, you talked about the underserved areas and so forth. There have been some programs that have been suspended or stopped at the federal level. Are you seeing or hearing any impacts based on that?
That's a very loaded question, but yes. Oh, you're welcome to this.
So, to maybe further answer your question, Commissioner Johnson, this is the activity we went through, the executive committee as well as our last environmental justice task force meeting. What continues on is our community engagement and benefits task force. So we're still doing the underlying work of what the environmental justice task force used to do, which does not fall out of line with any communications we've had from, in particular, USDOT, which is to make sure that the entire region is aware of our planning efforts and the community, as not as opposed to, but in addition to elected representatives or technical officials, has access and a voice in our planning efforts.
I'll just make a comment that regardless of anybody's individual beliefs or whatever, they'll need to interact and get people involved and so forth. And this is so important in things. And it'll be a challenge, whether it be a sewer pack or any agency out there. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nikki. Thanks for the update and for all the work that you do and all the miles that you put in around the region. I know it's a lot. And I've had the pleasure of seeing you in action at Harbor Fest right here at the Harbor District Sturgeon Fest. And I believe Laura was with you. Laura Herrick was with you that day. And so I think it would be helpful maybe to consider how you might share some information with commissioners about maybe some of the bigger festivals that you are attending, so that, commissioners have the opportunity potentially to go and see you in action and see the work that you do. Sometimes we see, the updates on the website, on social media, after the event, but we're don't have the information, ahead of time. So that might maybe for some events that you do regularly every year that you're gonna do the following year, it'd be good for us to know about that.
I'd love to share that with you. And I know that's something Stephanie and I have talked about.
Okay,
So
that's great.
we'll make sure it happens.
Great, thank you.
Right. So I had an opportunity back in October to tour SewerPAC and talk with many of the staff. And we have very dynamic, very talented, very proud staff. We're honored to have your presence today in presenting your report. And just give us a little bit of background about how long you've been with the organization and your position, because most of the commissioners do not get an opportunity to meet staff. And we get to highlight, this is one of our opportunities to highlight some of our great staff.
Thank you. So I'm in my 12th year at SewerPAC, which has been a phenomenal experience. I actually call this my dream job. I think I've said that way too many times, but it's the opportunity for me to not only educate people, but also make sure that the community understands what's really affecting them. So I can do that all day, every day. That's all I need to do. And you asked how many years, little background, and it's a marrying of my degrees. So my undergrad degree, I got in biology. Environmental was a part of what I was doing. So I love that aspect of it. And then I have my MBA with a concentration in marketing and hospitality. So.
It's great.
Very qualified.
Thank you, Nikki. Any further questions or comments for Nikki and her report? Her presentation. Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Commissioner.
I was just going to mention that she did a great job at explaining her program.
Yes.
You can find her all the time. All you have to do is walk down the way we have the meeting. She's right there. Bingo.
Yes. Okay, well, thank you. We'll continue on our agenda here. Next up is item 11, consideration of chairperson pursuant to Commission Bylaws, Article 3, Section 4, vacancies. You have a copy of the bylaws. And what I'd like to do is share with you how we got to this point. For most of you that were present at our September commission meeting, Commissioner Coleman had decided to step down as chair. The executive committee then needed to meet and elect an interim chair. And we also had a vacancy for vice chair. So what I'd like to share with you in a formality standpoint is that Article 3 officers and responsibilities, Section 4 vacancies. Should any office become vacant, the executive committee of the commission is empowered to designate an interim officer who shall serve in that office until the next regularly scheduled commission meeting. The commission shall consider the interim designation of an officer by the executive committee to constitute a nomination by that committee of a permanent successor. The commission shall thereupon act to elect a permanent successor at the earliest opportunity, who shall serve the remainder of the vacated term. The vacated term goes till December 31st of 2026. So with that, the executive committee has moved forward the interim chair to this full commission for election. This will also go the same with the next item on the agenda, which is the vice chair first. So these two elected interims are recommended as nomination to this full commission for a vote today. And again, it is to fill the vacated term that ends December 31st, 2026. So with that, I would seek a motion for myself to be elected.
I so move. Second.
That was quick. Go ahead, Commissioner Schleif.
I thought I saw somewhere in the bylaws that the chairman should not be an elected official because of concern about checks and balances. Is this okay because it's considered interim until the next full nomination election?
Thank you for bringing this up. This was brought up during the executive committee and a presentation was made formally by Eric Lind, who is here. I will allow him to respond to that with the terminology and interpreting the bylaws properly. Eric.
Yeah, so I think.
Come on up. And again, most of the commission may not know who you are, so please introduce yourself in your position here.
Yeah, thanks. Hope everybody can hear me. Eric Glenn, Special Projects Director with the commission. Been with the commission since 2008, so very long time. Yeah, the executive committee meeting, I think this point was brought up and debated, and I have to remember what I said 3 months ago. But I think the should versus shall is important. It says it should, and that's a consideration for the executive committee when they are nominating the individual for office. And so I think some people felt that it should be followed. Some people felt that that it didn't need to be followed, but it was something that should be taken into consideration. And ultimately, the executive committee determined through a voting process that myself and my colleague Miranda Page oversaw. They determined that Chairperson Crowley should be the interim chairperson and nominated for the permanent chairperson through the end of the vacated term, and then vice chairperson Natalia Migler-Meat, same term, same nomination to the full commission. I don't think that was quite the answer, quite good or well worded at the executive committee meeting, but wasn't necessarily planning to answer it, I guess. So is that what you're looking for?
Correct.
Does that help?
Yeah.
Answer your question? Okay.
And I appreciate you bringing that forward, Commissioner Schleif, as this is a very important process. It is a very important roles that we hold here. And We want to make sure that we are compliant with the bylaws, which was thoroughly analyzed and interpreted and discussed when that election took place at the executive committee. So we have a motion and a second. Is there any further comment or a vote? Hearing and seeing none, then all in favor, please say aye.
Roll call.
Aye.
Roll call?
Roll call.
You want a roll call?
I'm asking for a roll call.
Okay. We'll start with Commissioner Pitts.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Online?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. That completes roll call. The motion is unanimously approved. Thank you. Next up on the agenda is consideration of vice chairperson pursuant to commission bylaws, Article 3, Section 4 vacancies. Same process. Second. We'll do a roll call on this one as well.
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts, yes.
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 Aye.
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 Aye. Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Wave. All right.
Aye.
And
And online, Commissioner Hanson, I did not hear. Aye, okay.
Aye.
Very good. That concludes roll call. That was a unanimous. Thank you. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Now they find out how much work it is. I know.
Next up on our agenda is consideration of consultant for ArcGIS Enterprise Transition.
Hi, okay, we're bringing this to you because this is a expenditure that is outside of the commission budget, meaning we did not budget for this item back in May. So the issue here is our ArcGIS Enterprise software is in need of a software upgrade. The software, this is a software that most of our planning staff use to do maps, all of our projections, all of our planning work. If the software will be going from version 10.9.1 to version 11.5. And the request here is to use a consultant to do this upgrade for staff. It is quite complicated and discussions have happened with Justin, and our staff does not feel comfortable doing this upgrade in-house, which is what we normally try to do. So given the complexity, we are asking to move forward with a company called Avaneon in the dollar amount of $10,500 to conduct this upgrade for us. Now, we have been talking to some of the counties to determine what they have done with this upgrade. All of the counties will need to upgrade this software. We are receiving compatibility issues with staff using it, and we will start to see compatibility issues as we exchange data between the commission and the counties, and as we post some of those maps with counties. So Walworth County has already updated this software in October. Waukesha has done this in late summer, and Kenosha County is in the process of completing this upgrade. So in summary, I'm just looking for approval to move forward with this consultant.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion with the comment that I think this is the type of thing that should go through the executive committee first, but I support it in this situation to move forward.
Thank you.
Second.
And I just want to comment that normally it would go through the executive committee, but due to timing, we needed to move forward with it at this committee.
Understand.
I appreciate the comment. Thank you. Any further?
I have nothing further.
Thank you.
Question.
Go
Does
ahead.
that include support for a year or from the consultant?
I am the wrong person to ask.
It does include support for the scope of the project and maintenance afterwards. There's pre and post checks that are being done. So that will conclude at the conclusion of the project. They'll verify all operations with the base checklist. That's another reason why we wanted to use a third party specialist for this. Because we have some custom applications that were written for us by a different consultant. And I don't have any experience in that area, so we'd rather have somebody who has experience specifically with this application and the upgrade to do it.
Sure.
Good question.
Thank you, Justin. Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any further comment? Hearing none and all in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimously approved. Thank you. Item 14, review and consideration of treasurer's report and statement of revenues and disbursements. Treasurer, Commissioner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before I start, you can read along, but I mentioned that staff weathered a big new software issue and challenge over the past year and survived pretty well. So we're all part and parcel of software changes. So this report is for the financial period ending November 2nd, 2025. As such, it represents the financial status of the commission through 2025 reporting period number 10. Firstly, based upon disbursements through November 2nd, 2025, it is projected that total disbursements for the year will approximate 9.89 million. Revenues are projected at about 10.01 million, exclusive of interest, income, and miscellaneous revenues. Item 2, the commission's reserve policy dictates a minimum reserve amount of $4,985,434 with a maximum reserve amount of $10,870,868. The audited cash and cash equivalents at the end of the year are $4,163,621. Comment especially to new people, those limits have been established by our hired auditors.
Is that the end of 2024 or? That's proper, not 2025.
Yes, I think that, yeah.
Yes, that is a 24.
Yes. That's what it says. Item 3, as of November 2nd, 2025, the commission had in investments and cash on hand approximately 6.7 million. Just over 5.62 million were invested in the state of Wisconsin local government pooled investment fund. As of November 2nd, 2025, that fund was yielding 4.22% interest. Other funds are held in savings, checking, and certificates of deposit accounts at several banks. That's my report.
Thank you.
For approval.
Second.
I guess a question.
Go ahead.
What's happening with the 350,000 on the second line from the bottom? What is that about?
On which item?
Well, it's let's see, you cross miscellaneous expenses. Project total disbursements, 350,000, and then it goes negative 350 and then 0. What is that about? Am I looking at this? Yeah.
Our executive director will speak to that.
I'll begin, and Ben and Libby, you may add on. But let me first just read into our minutes that you'll see the asterisk or note B, that is assigned miscellaneous expenses. And the reference in B states miscellaneous expenses. Staff is expecting to purchase data sets and equipment to be used for the Vision 2060 Regional Land Use and Transportation Plan. This plan will be the 7th generation of the Commission's most comprehensive regional plan. With these expenditures, the projected surplus is expected to be just over $133,000 prior to auditor adjustments. So I hope that addresses the first part of your question.
Well, I couldn't hear too well, so I apologize, but. So you're saying there was a surplus and it's being, I really couldn't hear you too well, so is it there's surplus that's being spent on or it's not being spent or what?
Forgive me, it is a surplus that we are spending down this month to about $133,000 at the end of making Vision 2060 purchases.
I found out yesterday I need 2 hearing aids, so
Very good.
it's the lucky me.
Forgive me, thank you.
Thank you. So we have a motion and a second. Any further? We already have a motion and a second.
I moved you.
Thank you. Second, Commissioner Schleif. Any further comment? Hearing none, then all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimously approved. Thank you, Commissioner Strike. Okay. Next up is item 15, discussion on our 2026 mission meeting dates. Our Executive Director, Stephanie Hacker, go ahead.
I will be brief and attempt to be audible. So how does this sound on the other end? Okay, excellent. This is a discussion item only, but we are bringing before you the anticipated 2026 Commissioner and Committee meeting dates for your initial review. The bylaws stipulate that these dates be the dates. However, I want to point out the annual meeting we have scheduled according to the bylaws for June 17th of 2026. I recognize that in prior years, this has caused a conflict with some county meetings. And so we should bring to the attention of all commissioners any conflicts that you foresee on that annual meeting. Quarterly meetings that you'll see on March 4th, September 16th, and December 2nd. These are dates that can be modified per our bylaws by the chairperson. So if you see conflicts with those, we can make adjustments following discussion and be able to take that update and return with a modified schedule. With that, I turn it back to the chair to identify any conflicts, discussion items.
Thank you, Stephanie. So again, with those commissioner meetings, please communicate that to us in the next few days. You will then get a email to you with the schedule. And also we'll share that at future meetings. So you have this repetitively and you can add it to your calendar. Participation in the meetings is very important and we offer the virtual as well. But it is very helpful to have commissioners in person. And again, I appreciate you all being here this afternoon. Any comments? Okay, thank you. Next up is correspondence and announcements. And I'll conclude with just a couple of things to communicate to you about, but correspondence, I have none. Stephanie?
None.
Okay. Announcements. So first of all, I just want to say thank you for the election and that process. What I want to share with you is if you noticed in some of these meetings, you'll see that I'm chairman or chairperson of Intergovernmental and Public Relations, executive. That needs to change. And there has been, I was secretary serving on the commission. I've been on the commission 14 years. And as secretary, now that I'm chair, that secretary role needs to be filled. So what you're going to see in the near future, our next executive committee meeting, will have conversation about filling that role. And those committees, I will need to adjust the chairman role and have a vice chairman for each of those committees. As chair of the commission, I am chair of executive committee. So that is the role I intend to continue on, but the others need to be filled. If you have any interest in chair or vice chair of committees, please share that with me. We do have new commission emails. So that is something that needs to take place and have those emails populated for each of our commissioners. Jim Zahner is over here. He will advocate for that as well, that we have several commissioners that have already set up their email accounts. We need to get that done before the end of the year. We need to communicate with all of you through commission email. You'll see in your packet that there are some public records, open meetings, that kind of thing. What we need to be careful about is that we do not share emails of commission related work in your personal emails. Many of you know that should not be the case, because if we were ever to have an open records request, we would have an issue. We would potentially need to get into your personal email, and you wouldn't want that. So we're going to do some cleaning up of some things and get things orderly. We just needed to get past our full commission meeting today with this election process. Committees will get firmed up. As I mentioned, Intergovernmental and Public Relations Committee. I was chair of that as well. We have a vice chair, Commissioner Decker. These committees are active. We have a lot of work ahead in 2026. Our strategy for 2030, which is communication internally and externally, is going to be very important for our elected officials in our region. So a lot of tidying up of what's to come after this meeting. And I appreciate all of you putting the trust in Commissioner Natalia Winkle-Demit and myself. And I want to thank once again Commissioner Coleman for your leadership as chair for the past several years. I respect your decision to step down, and I am grateful for the trust that you're putting in us as my fellow commissioners moving forward to fill your vacated term. And that is all I have. The next motion is the most important one of the day.
I just want to ask, are you going to bring up the roster? Bring up the roster for the commission?
Yeah,
Update.
yeah, we can update that roster and
Yes.
distribute it. Yes.
I mean, I requested that a month ago, but I was just wondering if you're working on it.
Well, I'll make a note of that and we'll do that right away.
Yes, as we seated several new commissioners, and we will have another one in March, but we will update the roster. Again, there's tidying up of some things and housekeeping, and that is all going to take place over the next several weeks. Is there a motion to adjourn? Commissioner Johnson, Commissioner Schleif, second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Meeting adjourned, Board 23.